Welcome to this week's episode of Hot Boxing Talk, South Africa's very own online boxing talk show. We spoke to young up-and-coming prospect who's recently joined the Hot Box gym in Sabelo in Guyana, as well as speaking to South African welterweight champion Shaun Ness in his upcoming defense. And we had our weekly chat with Hayden Jones and Cyril Hong. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Hot Boxing Talk. We welcome hot prospect Sabelo in Guyana to Hot Boxing Talk first and foremost, and also a proud member now of the Hot Box Gym. Welcome to Hot Boxing Talk. I wanted to get you on camera and I wanted to welcome you first and foremost, and tell me, why did you leave the Western Cape to pursue your boxing career in Johannesburg?
For me to move to Joburg, I saw as an opportunity for me to get a good exposure, to pursue my dream as a good boxer, to become the world champion, to make sure that my future is good and I have a good thing for the future.
So you've got 8 fights, 7 wins, 1 loss, 6 by knockout, southpaw. I've seen you fight. I've actually done commentary on one of your fights. You're an explosive puncher. Where do you get your power from?
My power is from nature. I was born as a strong man, you see. The power, I'm a hard worker also. That's the thing that could give me more power, because I work hard.
So let's talk about your only loss. So it was in East London. You thought you won the fight. We've discussed it. Tell the viewers about that fight and how it was like losing.
The fight, I would say I lost the fight because I didn't lose the fight. The guy, they give him the fight as a favor. They also announce as I say, it as a favor. So I didn't lose that fight, and the fight I was good. He was a good competitor. But even I'm sure he will not want a appeal match or a rematch. Yeah.
And tell me something, who's your favorite local fighter in South Africa today?
My local fighter, these guys are good, but I would say I'll go for, I don't know what's these guys.
You can choose one. You can choose a few if you want.
These guys.
Okay,
I'll go for Tete.
Zolani Tete, good choice. Who's your best fighter? Who's your favorite fighter internationally?
Internationally, Floyd.
Floyd, okay, cool. So Tommy, you're 23 years old.
Yeah, I'm 23.
And ideally, we're gonna take you along slowly. But if you had one dream match that you could fight someone in your career, in your life, and it doesn't have to be now, maybe in 3-4 years time, who would it be against and why?
I would say I would go for Gideon. See, I see it's a best boxer. You see, you know, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. That's how you run. Hello.
And obviously you fight as a junior bantamweight. Watch this kid smoke, he's on fire and he cracks exceptionally hard. This is Sabelo. Take note of him right here on Hot Boxing Talk. It's that time of the week where the two gentlemen join us right here on Hot Boxing Talk. Hayden, let me start with you. Big drama in the heavyweight division. Lucas Brown testing positive for clenbuterol. Do you think that's legit? Do you think there's more to it in Russia?
Well, that's the thing about Russia as well. They say don't drink the water there, don't do this there. Also, it's also used for asthma as well.
Correct.
So it could be a number of things. So yeah.
Do you think he's guilty? I mean, like, he's tested positive. I mean, he's gonna go for the second sample now. They'll probably come back positive as well. Do you think he's guilty?
It's hard to say. As Hayden says, in Russia, you know, all sorts of things happen. So yeah, it's difficult. He seemed genuinely surprised that he came out positive.
Yeah, and there's been press releases from Hatton Promotions and so forth. What does this mean for the heavyweight division?
Well, it's not a good thing for the heavyweight division, because the heavyweight division was just starting to look good with Brown coming into the picture as well. It just creates a whole tournament kind of vibe with each one's trying to get to the top when Klitschko fell off.
Okay, so let's stay on the subject. Let's say he gets stripped, which is in all probability he will get stripped. David Hayes in the equation. There's some big fights. I mean, there's Martin and Joshua. What happens now? Say, for example, he's stripped. What happens next?
Well, it's still exciting. I mean, as you mentioned, David Hay, Joshua, Charles Martin, who's fighting Joshua soon, he's not the greatest, but he's a genuine contender. Then you obviously still have the likes of Deontay Wilder. It's still a very exciting division.
So here's the thing, Hayden. Lucas Brown is one of the champions, because there are a few. What happens now with him out the equation? Not much, right?
Well, I didn't think he's so special to begin with, so I think that there would have been a new champion very, very soon anyway.
And I mean, Deontay Wilder, Povetkin, that's on the cards now. That's going to happen in Russia, I think it is. How does that fight go? I know we've discussed it previously, but how does that go?
I think Povetkin will probably be the toughest opponent Deontay Wilder has had. I think Povetkin could beat Deontay Wilder. It's going to be a very good fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight for me.
How do you think that goes?
I think Povetkin wins with it being in Russia as well.
So here's the thing. You got the undisputed heavyweight champion, linear champion in Tyson Fury, right? Who is the man after them? Who, in your opinion, is the heavyweight man right now? And it doesn't have to be Tyson Fury.
Right now, I say Deontay Wilder, but I think Povetkin could beat him, even though Deontay Wilder will probably beat the rest.
Who's your? Oh, but hold on, we've got a rematch as well. So, bearing in mind Klitschko could beat Fury, who's the man besides Fury right now?
It has to be Deontay Wilder if you're talking in terms of that. But also, I know Povetkin's not a world champion, but his name's definitely got to be up there. As his only loss has come to the man that dominated heavyweight boxing for a very long time in Vladimir Klitschko.
So I'm gonna ask you final question: Klitschko and Fury rematch. Who wins that and why?
I think the result's the same. It's another boring win for Fury. I think Fury just caught Klitschko at the right time. Klitschko's on his way out, and
So Fury on points.
Yeah.
Who wins that fight? The rematch and why?
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to go for Vladimir Klitschko coming back because it was a total shock to us that Fury's even a champion in the first place. I don't think Fury is going to last that long at the top. I think Klitschko on points.
Well, if Hayden's correct, we'll be debating the heavyweight scene again. This is the three of us right here on Hot Boxing Talk. No stranger to Hot Boxing Talk. We have South African welterweight champion Shaun, the Loch Ness monster, is making his first defense on the 8th of April in Grahamstown against the #1 contender. Give us his name.
Lisi Dwayana.
That's not bad considering, he's a Mlungu and stuff. Shaun, first South African title defense. We're pushing you really hard at the gym. How's that fight going to go?
Hopefully a stoppage. I am pushing myself hard and I'm not going to give a guy a break.
And your first 12 rounder, your last fight, you dropped the guy twice, you fought exceptionally well. What was it like going 12 rounds? I know I asked you that before, let's talk about that again, going 12 rounds.
12 rounds was not that hard. I think I could have done 16 actually. I really prepared well for it. So not worried about 12 rounds.
So please God you successful, because it's going to be a tough fight. I've actually seen this guy fight live. He's well schooled. What's next for your career after this fight, should you be successful?
Hopefully a step up, different title, and get my ranking up as well. It would be good for me.
South African welterweight champion, catch him on the 8th of April in Grahamstown, defending successfully, please God, Shaun Ness, the Loch Ness monster, right here on Hot Boxing Talk. So there you have it. That's the end of Hot Boxing Talk for this week. From myself, Colin, Nomaganjani, Nathan, and Hayden Jones. We will catch you again next week.